Possiamo riempirla, esatto.
Dear visitors and exhibitors, we'll be hosting a panel at 5:10 p.m. at the Forum and Hospitality area. This panel will be hosted by Anna Zinola from School and Education Director, Istituto Marangoni at Riyadh. Our panel guests today will be Alberto Scaccioni, the COO at Ente Moda Italia, and Norah Buhairi, Raffles Design Institute, Debora Sinibaldi, designer and professor at NABA Academy. أعزائنا الزوار وأصحاب المعارض، ندعوكم لحضور جلسة حوارية في منطقة المسرح تستضيفها Anna Zinola from School and Education, the School and Education Director في مؤسسة مارغوني في الرياض. ضيوفنا اليوم ألبرتو ساتشوني المدير التنفيذي لإنتي مودا إيطاليا، نورا البحيري من مؤسسة رافل ديزاينز، ديبورا سينبالدي المصممة والبروفيسور في أكاديمية نابا.
2, 3. Pronto? 1, 2, 3.
Hello, 1, 2, 3. Here I am. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hello, nice to meet you, Alberto. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Alberto. Io non vi vedo. Esatto, non lo vedo ancora. Sì, ora lo vedo. Lo devi spostare un po' perché non vedo. Ok, perfetto. Ora lo vedo.
Dear visitors and exhibitors, we're hosting a panel at the Forum and Hospitality area. This panel will be hosted by Anna Zinola, School and Education Director at Istituto Marangoni at Riyadh. Our guests for today are Alberto Scaccioni, the CEO at Ente Moda Italia; Hala Algharbawi, fashion designer and CEO of Hala Algharbawi; Debora Sinibaldi, designer and professor at NABA Academy; Norah Buhairi, Raffles Design Institute. Our panel will be starting right away. We would love from all of you to join us at the Forum and Hospitality area.
Hello everyone. I wish to be here there with you. Unfortunately, I am back in Italy, and I know that the weather there is amazing, and the Saudi lifestyle week is going very well. Yesterday, the student of Istituto Marangoni went there, and they sent me a lot of images that they really enjoy. So I wish really to be there. But let's start with our panelists, and what we want to see today is understand how we can support these young, talented Saudi designer, and we can support both from Saudi and from Italy. What I noticed in my month in Riyadh, I went back in Italy a couple of days ago, is that there are so many young, talented, and passionate students and young designers in Riyadh and in Jeddah as well, and we would support them. So, how we can do that and how we can blend the heritage, the Saudi heritage, with the global trend is our topic today. But let's start knowing better our panelists. I want to start with Norah Buhairi. So Norah, if you can tell us something about your path, your journey in fashion.
Thank you so much to Nisha Arabia and Saudi Lifestyle Week for this amazing event. I'm very honored to be here. My name is Norah Buhairi. I am a fashion designer and the business development officer at Raffles Design Institute here in Riyadh. My beginning or my background in design began when I was a fashion design student at Raffles Design. It was my passion since I was a little girl, and I remember begging my family to go to fashion school, and they were my biggest supporters and really pushed me to follow my dreams. My beginning in academia was when I was an intern during Corona. It was very difficult for me to find a training, and the university was like, you know what, why don't you come and do your formal training here as a teacher's assistant? And from there, I worked as a teacher's assistant as an intern. I became a lecturer, and then I became a program director. And then now I am the business development officer at the university. While my focus in my career is now very business shifted, my passion lies in design and creativity. And Saudi Arabia is a culture with such a rich, deep understanding of design, and we are built on the arts and design, and we need to make design available for all and more socially acceptable in our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Norah. Very, very interesting. Near to Norah, there is Debora Sinibaldi, who is professor at NABA in Italy, and she has a huge experience in fashion, in brand as Believe, Centro, and Thobe. I am right, Debora? You want to tell us something about your career?
With pleasure. Thank you for having me here. And I say hello to everyone this afternoon. And well, very shortly, I born in Florence. I'm Italian. I did the Academy of Fine Arts, and I met fashion just by chance because I didn't really know what to do. And then I discovered this word, and I was fascinated. Then I worked for Gianfranco Ferré in Milan for several years, and then I moved to Paris and I worked for Celine and for Dior, Christian Dior, and for a brief period also for John Galliano. And then recently the director of NABA, the new academy in Milan, she proposed me to take a course, to give a course to the students, and I discover again this beautiful experience of education, which to me is like a second professional opening in my life. And I like very much the relationship with the students, and to my experience in teaching, which is not very long, I have to say that talented or at least interested young designers are quite a lot, and I'm teaching a course also in English, so in my classroom I have people from all over the world, from Brazil to China, from Iran to Sweden, and I have to say that the landscape is very interesting, and this is the reason why I'm quite positive about the future of fashion.
Thank you so much, Debora. Okay, Hala, you are a young but successful designer. If you want to tell something about your career, your brand.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm a fashion designer and founder for Hala Algharbawi brand. And I have a bachelor degree in art from King Fahd University here in Saudi Arabia. I just studied art during 5 years. After that, I had my double bachelor in fashion design and tailoring from Esmod University in Berlin, Germany. I studied the fashion during 5 years. And I also have my master degree from business school from Rome, Italy, in fashion management. And I'm also mentoring, I'm mentoring fashion design and also fashion management for students in Moda, Marangoni, and Esmod University as well. I have also a fashion factory to help the designers to do a production line to start their career and business. I'm opening also a new fashion brands, is talking about jalabia and abayas, just to make different style for Hala Algharbawi. It's talking more about evening wear.
Thank you, Hala. Very, very impressive your career.
Thank you, Anna. Good evening, everybody. Sorry. Yes, I work since 1995 for this Italian group called PT Immagine, based in Firenze, focus on promoting fashion, Italian fashion, but I'd say all fashion in general. Our organization was born in 1954, soon after Second World War, with the goal of helping Italy coming out from the ruins and disaster of Second World War, and fashion was a good idea, you know. So there are several similarities between the landscape, the fashion landscape in Italy at the time, and what I am seeing now here, for example, because in the 50s there was no Italian fashion, you know, the fashion was only French. So our goal was to develop and to let the world know about these Italian creators. They were tailors mainly. There were the concept of fashion designers was not in the agenda at the time. But so we started with creating catwalks and meeting with international buyers, mainly Americans, of course, at the time. And at a certain moment, it became obvious that we had to also found a school, an academy. And so in the 80s, Moda was born, thanks to the municipality of Florence and our support, because we strongly believe that there is no fashion system without education. And so this is how our journey began, and this is why we are here now.
Thank you, Alberto. Very clear, very interesting. I would like to go back to Hala. You mentioned your journey in studies. What was important, your education? What helped you to build your career during your education?
Yeah, actually, it's really important to study fashion and start to take this knowledge to the others. Being in like Saudi designer, starting with the artistics, let's say, field, it's really useful for me as a designer also to take all the subject that I studied in art in here in Saudi Arabia. And then once that I just moved to Germany, I studied fashion design. I just combined between the art and fashion design. It's really useful for the designer to well educate in fashion, because it's not about only create a clothes. It's something really huge and something really full of techniques and values, and also exchange the experience between like both sides of, for example, the students, the mentors, professors, and this kind of stuff. It's really useful.
Great, thank you so much. Debora, you mentioned that you have students from all around the world. What is important nowadays for the students? How we can, as professionals, as teachers, support the young talent?
Well, I can tell you what I always tell to my students, generally speaking. You know, the institution, the school, the university offer a place and a time where students and designers can really experiment and come out from their comfort zone, come out from repeating what they have already seen. You know, when you are out from school and you have your own business or you work for a brand, you cannot make experimentations because it takes time, energy, money, and it could be very challenging. So there, in the school, they can find, you know, pattern makers, machines, teachers ready to help, to give advices, not only in technical, of course, but also, you know, even pushing them to dare more sometimes, to be a little bit less obvious, or sometimes, you know, telling them the contrary, thinking that, you know, fashion is in the crossroad between art and business. At the end of the day, you have to sell. So you can be creative as much as you want, but then what will you sell? To whom? You can also do a collection which is completely crazy as a manifesto, but at the same time, you have to be aware that it's a manifesto, they're not garments to be sold. So I think offering this space and all this time and opportunities, it's a great value. Outside school, you know, it's much tougher, no?
Right, correct, right. And what about you, Norah? What is your point of view about the role of education nowadays?
I think, well, education is very important. I'm of the belief that your education is the one thing people can't take away from you. And what I'm very excited is that Saudi Arabia is now growing in the education realm, especially in design, and it's one of the big focuses of Vision 2030. For me, as a fashion design student, when I was studying, I went into fashion design thinking it was, I'm gonna draw some dresses, I might learn how to sew, and maybe I can design a collection. But when I went into it and I realized that it's pattern making, it's sewing, it's handwork, there's menswear, there's children's wear, there's evening wear, it opened up this realm of possibilities in my mind, and I found out that my passion wasn't so much the drawing and the creative thinking, it was pattern making, it was production, it was visiting the factories and understanding how they create designs. So not only is education a key for you to reach your dreams, it might actually unlock a new dream that you never really knew that you had. Thank you.
Great, great point. Well, on one side there is the academia, the education. On the other side there is the support of institutions and of the government. No? In Saudi, the Vision 2030 is super important and is a key driver for the young talented designer. Or there is in Saudi the Fashion Commission as well. That is a very important support for the young designer. Hala, what was your experience about that? No, you was part of that. You had a mentor.
Yes,
You can
actually,
explain a bit what it means.
yeah. Actually, I am also still a part of Fashion Commission, doing like an active membership, let's say. They are really help the young designers and even, for example, a big brands to grow more. For example, to meet international mentors, doing international events, let's say showrooms, pop-up, fashion shows, doing workshops, all these kind of stuff, thanks to the Fashion Commission actually, to help us as a designers to grow more and more to be here, like for the Vision 23, of course. Also, I have to mention that this experience, it's really make the designers and the brand, take the brand to the another level, because they know already, for example, know more about the knowledge from the other mentors, the other, even for example, international designers, let's say, when we meet them, for example, during the events. Actually, also for the vision, our vision is talking about technology, talking about metaverse, talking about NFTs, talking about save the heritage and culture. We just, for example, came up with new ideas to mix these culture items with modernity, or for example, creative or innovations ideas. That's what Fashion Commission did with us during the workshops and with the mentors. Thank you.
So it was a great support.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. Alberto, you are part of two important institutions in Italy. How you help the young designer to grow and to bloom in some way?
Thank you for the question. So I guess we have two ways of helping. First of all, we are a private group, and this is very healthy because in Italy, if you want something that happens and happens quickly, you have to do it by yourself without relying on anybody, okay? And in my opinion, this is a very healthy point of view, a very healthy mindset, okay? Because it gets you very committed, fully committed. So our group, we are focused on trade shows and promotional projects. So our trade shows have been the launching point, the starting point from many brands. I would like to name Brunello Cucinelli and Herno and Stefano Ricci and many others, okay? So, and this is our main business, which is the trade shows. But as a holding, we are also working with the schools, with the academies, with all the Italian academies, with a new project launched in 2024, which is called Academy, CFMI Academy. And our idea is that in this moment, with all the big brands not performing well, and with all the markets very low, we need new energies, we need new ideas. Okay, so we decided to try to bring the concept of startup within our academies. Nowadays in Italy, mainly the main academies, the output, the students, when they finish the schools, they go to work for brands, big or medium brands. Okay, so we think that now it's the moment to try to bring them by themselves on the market once again, like in the 70s. At the end of the 70s, it happened with a amazing group of creative from Italy, of course Armani, Versace, Ferré, and the others. Okay, so the sparkle of a startup, the sparkle of a student, of a young entrepreneur, can bring to the market, can bring to the scenario, in our opinion, is far away more important than, I mean, being another number in the big company, in the big brand. Okay, so we have 1 year of testing last year of this new project. We are launching the new one in Milan at Fashion Graduate Italia, which is this event organized by the main Italian fashion academies. And I mean, we try to help. We are calling for ideas, calling for projects. We have a big bank with us supporting. So the idea is to match the students with investors, business angels, incubators, accelerators. So try to bring the concept of startup that nowadays you can see it mainly in high tech or digital, also in our old economy, fashion old economy. I hope this is going to be successful.
Thank you. Very, very interesting. Well, I think that one of the big challenges nowadays for the young Saudi designer is to blend the Saudi heritage with the global trend. No? And if we think about the 100 Saudi brand, we have a lot of examples, a lot of streetwear brand or brand of abaya that blend these two cultures. How we can support them, on your point of view, Nora, how we can support the student to blend the local heritage with the international global trend?
So one of the great things that came from Saudi Vision 2030 was the establishment of the Fashion Commission and also the Architectural and Design Commission. And both of these commissions are working very hard to help establish the Saudi heritage image on the global level and push the Saudi heritage image among Saudis. And so we have our 2 big days throughout the year, our National Day and our Founding Day, our big days for fashion in Saudi Arabia, and people go all out in their costumes based on their unique heritages from where they are in the kingdom. And as well as the Saudi Cup. Saudi Cup is also a very big fashion event. It's kind of like our Cannes Film Festival here in Saudi Arabia, where we can see all of these celebrities and designers showcase these amazing designs. And we can support our students by ingraining our Saudi heritage into our academics, tailoring assignments to push for the Saudi heritage, researching certain areas, why clothes are made the way that they are in this area. As I was having a conversation earlier from a member from the Mansujat booth about why clothing in the Asir region is made in that way. Why do they use those fabrics? These are the things that will really push Saudi heritage in our education and really push our young designers to be proud of who they are and take their Saudi-based brands to the global level.
Well, Debora, as an Italian, European designer with an international view and an international experience, what is your point of view about that? How we can support the student to blend these two parts, the local
There is someone singing. I think it's shall we stop now, or it's okay?
Let's wait 1 minute then.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that what the other panelists, Norah and Alberto, said, I think it's a lot, it's very important. From a broader cultural point of view, we are living in a period that it is quite bizarre. From one side, you have all the countries in Europe, in the Northern America, but not only in Asia. All countries are closing up. They want to do from only for themselves. They are scared about the differences. From the other part, we have the web, and we have this extremely easiness to reach not South Korea and then Argentina and any kind of country. So it's a sort of dichotomy that is quite strange. I personally think that this is a great opportunity. From one side, each country should see how big and strong is its heritage. And I think many countries, there are plenty of beautiful arts and crafts and know-hows and traditions. And from the other part, on the other hand, we have the opportunity to reach everyone in the planet in few seconds. So I want, and I really keep on my hope, that diversity is richness. And I'm welcoming any new designer from Africa, from Saudi Arabia. Why not? I would be, more than happy to see new designers come out with new ideas.
Thank you so much, Debora. And Hala, how you blend these two parts in your collection, in your brand, in your storytelling as well?
Actually, I did it with Pinko. Pinko, a fashion Italian house. I did the collaboration. It was an exclusive collection for Middle East, let's say GCC. They contacting me via Fashion Commission. They just saw the portfolio of my brand, and they contact me just to do the exclusive collaboration at that time. It was really nice experience, to be honest, to blend cultural and our authentic designs or ideas with modernity and innovations of Italian designs and fashion house like Pinko. It was really, really nice experience. Actually, I really believe to blend two things together or mix, for example, culture with modernity style to be like for now, and also to follow the vision ideas of 2030, especially with technology things. I really believe in that. For example, just imagine culture items in the design, and then you can see that design moving in the technology, for example, NFTs, words, or metaverse. We could, with that way, we could mix culture things with the vision or, for example, the innovation ideas.
Thank you so much, Hala. Alberto, based on your experience and on your strategic vision, how the local, the Saudi program and institution can collaborate with international partners in order to support, to nourish in some way the young local talent?
Thank you, Anna. Well, I think that every country, especially a powerful country like Saudi Arabia is, that wants to develop a local fashion system in order to be relevant worldwide, should focus on three pillars, okay, which are unavoidable: education, manufacturing, and promotion. Okay, you cannot avoid not even one, not even half of this. Okay. I know that this country is very strong on education since the very beginning, and this is one thing that I love and I respect them a lot. I know that Saudi Arabia is doing a lot on promotion. Frankly, this is my fault. I don't know anything about the manufacturing and supply chain level. However, coming back to your question, I think that on all of these three pillars, we have many ways of cooperating together, because, for example, Italy, we are strong everywhere, because we have such a huge heritage that can be traced back to the medieval era. So we have thousands of manufacturing companies, we have an amazing supply chain, we have very good academies, both public and private, and we have very strong and international recognized promotional platforms. So we are open and eager to cooperate with you. It's important to understand which is the vision of the local government. How do they feel themselves, and which are the goals? Okay, so the matching, it happens sharing vision and goals. And of course, Italy, it's always happy since forever, to cooperate with Saudi.
Great, thank you so much. My last question for all of you is $1 million question. So what is next? What we can do in the future to work in this direction, to reinforce this amazing journey? I don't know who wants to start. It's up to you. What do you think is the next for the Saudi brand, for the Saudi fashion system, and what we can do?
Start as usual. Okay.
Thank you.
Always. Okay, in my opinion, we could, for example, why not we are doing, for example, like student program exchange. It's really useful for both sides, actually. Once that we have a culture, we have a strong culture, we have a craftsmanships, we have authentics. Also, the other, like European or especially Italy, they have also strong things or sectors in fashion. Why we are not doing like exchange student program? Why we are not doing, for example, exhibitions, collaboration together with the students, for example, like let's say not exhibition, like for example, a showrooms, let's say, just a collaboration together between the students. Maybe, yeah, it's like an idea came to my mind just to share.
I think that, I mean, following your thoughts that I like very much, I think that we should create something with a medium long-term vision, okay?
Yeah.
Because we need to help the young students that are today in the schools, so projecting them in 5 years, okay, from now. And so we have to bring each one of us its own best, okay? So what can we bring, what can you bring, and together creating something to share,
Stronger, yeah.
but with the focus on the young people, young students that are today in the schools, because they are our future, you know. So when you ask what's next for the future, is the young people. they are the future, you know. Definitely, I'm not the future, you know. I'm the present if I'm good and lucky. Okay.
Supervisor, yes, I totally agree with Alberto. Yeah.
So from my perspective in the academia here, and something that we're working on currently, Raffles, is we want to work with local high schools and local elementary schools to bring design to the children and show them that this is a valid career path and what they can do in their lives and all the dreams that they can have as not just fashion designers, jewelry designers, graphic designers, interior designers, and bring the design education to the children, teach them design, get them interested, get them into passion. One of my dreams actually is now that we have the Riyadh Fashion Week coming up, supported by the Fashion Commission, is to put on a yearly graduate showcase for graduates of fashion design in the entire kingdom, a collaborative showcase between Marangoni, Raffles, Dar al-Hikmah, Princess Noura University, and work as let's say partners and not so much competitors, because it's a small world for us designers here in Saudi Arabia, no matter how many of us there are. And so working together, I think, would really help support the young designers and show them that not everyone needs to be your enemy. We're friends here and we're all going to grow together.
Well, I'm very sorry, I don't know the situation of Saudi Arabia, but what I learned in these very last weeks, there are a lot of initiative in terms of education about, you know, sharing experiences, sharing way of teaching, sharing time, no, and institutions. So I think I'm here, you know, in terms of teaching in NABA. This is, you know, it's an Italian university. They are moving here. I know they already have organized courses. So I think this is a very good direction, since education should be the very first step. Then the second step, which I think is extremely important, is manufacturing, as you said, Alberto, because otherwise everything stays, you know, up in the air. When the students will come out, what they will do if they don't find fabrics, factories, if they cannot, you know, find a good supply chain, if they cannot show their things, you know, little by little. These are things that are not, you know, you cannot build in one day. It takes time, but I think the direction, what I think from, I have to say from a little bit from outside, I feel there is a lot of energy around these themes, so I'm quite positive. I have a very positive feeling.
Well, thank you so much for attending this talk. Thank you for your point of view and for your insight. I really enjoy to talk with you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
to
you
you.
so much. Thank you.